Hey everyone, happy Friday. I hope Miss Addington played the Friday song for you all as is tradition. Anyways, I wanted to go more in depth about matching actions so you really understood what exactly it was specifically that I'm talking about in regards to matching actions. So, one of the examples I showed you was from a clip in my college days of a matching action assignment that I had. And so this is similar. So let's look specifically here. So we have a unique shot. That's part of this is we're telling a story, but we're using unique creative angles to tell it. So a shot from underneath, right? That's not a normal thing that you would see unless you're watching a story on a visual medium. So story or shot from underneath. We're starting to clap, okay? Ready, break. And if you watch this shot, we're about to clap, and in this shot, we continue that motion. And you can see there's not perfect continuity there, but the point of this is that at real speed, you can't tell, if I can get these dumb ads to stop popping up. At real speed, you can't hardly tell unless you're looking very closely that there's any issue with the action. So let's continue. I'll jump a little bit forward here in the story. All right, so I'm pointing with my arms. All right, once again, another unique angle from just behind the ball between the legs. Okay, everything here is building up for the motion on the cut of the camera to continue its action so it looks like one shot. This was all done in one camera. There weren't multiple cameras taking this, so as you can imagine, we had to do these same actions over and over again. So the ball's being snapped, you see it from this angle, and then you're going to see a cut here to a separate angle, and it continues that motion, okay? If I were to cut this shot and the ball was still in his hands, you could tell there'd be something wrong with that. I'll show you an example of when that doesn't work here in a second. But, all right, notice how the cuts are, right? These in slow motion. All right, I'm doing this little pump fake. And in a different shot, I'm continuing that same motion. All right, I'm stepping up into the throw. We're cutting the angle of the camera, but I'm still doing the same motion. See where my arm is? That's pretty good editing right there. And that's the type of editing I'm looking for in this assignment. Okay, creative angles or matching the action between shots. I'm going to show you an example that was done in your class. You've already seen this example. This was done by a student named Brock Roylance a couple years ago. And so this assignment was perfectly executed. All right, so in the previous shot here, and I'll try and go slow motion here. All right, Draven's walking up to the car. Okay, look, he's opening the door, and we're going to cut to the inside of the car, and he continues that same motion where he's now getting into the car. You could just see in the other shot, the door's fully open, he's starting to get in, and it looks like one smooth, continuous motion. Now, this is once again shot with different cameras, or I mean cameras from different locations, one camera, so they did this multiple times. All right, he's gonna sit down. All right, now that wasn't a match cut. All it was is continuing to push the story forward. A match cut is continuing the motion from one shot into the next. So trying to go quickly here. All right, show you another good example of one he had. All right, and in here we can see he's putting the seatbelt down, and then he does a close-up of the seatbelt trying to go into the belt buckle. That's really good matching action, okay? It's the illusion of it being just seamless and multiple camera angles, and you don't even, as a viewer, realize that the switching is going on. Now, that was a little bit latent there. You could almost hear Brock say, okay, and action. In fact, I'm going to show you an example. This is a former student, and here's an example of matching action gone wrong. So, this girl opens the door. All right, and the next shot we should see her getting in. But you see there's this pause, and she reopens the door and she gets in. They went back. The edit should have started about right here. So if you go back and look, they kept too much of this video. So the edit should be cut right there, and then it would look a lot better. So if we go back to the previous frame, right? She's opening the door, right? She's starting to walk towards, right? If they cut it right there, that would be about perfect. So you can see how when the cuts aren't made nicely, you can see there again, there's another pause. When the cuts aren't made nicely, there's this weird overlap between camera shots that makes the viewer uncomfortable, and that's called a continuity error. So that's what we want to avoid. So that's what I'm looking for in these matching action assignments. Now, your storyboards are due today, and all the storyboards are to help guide the shots that you want. So if you look, here's an example of the Lion King, all right? Timon and Pumbaa are running in, all right? You're not Mufasa. Must I forever be reminded of this? Okay, we're showing the different shots that we want in our story, and there's going to be action here and here, and your job is to edit the action so it's smooth. But I want you to plan out your different camera angles so that you're telling a story. So it might take 3 or 4 pages of those storyboards to get, because if you look at the matching action assignment and what is actually due, right? Must have 7 angles, 15 cuts. So if you're doing a storyboard, you need to reflect that there are 7 different angles and there are at least 15 cuts. So if you have a storyboard here of 6 panes, right, that's only 6 cuts. So I would need at least 3 of these sheets. Sorry about my dog barking in the background, but I hope you get the idea. If you have any questions, please email me. I hope that kind of cleared up what I'm looking for in terms of matching action. Once again, any questions, just email me. Get your storyboards in. Have a great weekend, everyone.